All right, guys, this is Emmett D. Alpha Builder. And today I want to talk about a building inspector from hell. Guys, this video right here was inspired because one of my builder friends, he reached out to me and he said that he ran up on a building inspector, not an official, but he ran up on a building. That's totally two different things, guys. He ran up on a building inspector in a municipality here in this area because the local building official in this area, in the Birmingham area, they resigned, so they left. And so the city brought a guy in from a neighboring municipality to come in to help them do the inspections, because the mayor and all those guys, they don't really understand anything about construction, so they hired this guy to come in and do it for them. Well, when this guy comes in, he's an inspector from another municipality. Well, when this guy comes in, he started making all of these requirements. And this particular guy, this particular friend I have, he was actually just trying to get a permit, and he turned in a set of plans that was drawn by a plan designer. And this guy said, well, hey, you need to have this thing stamped by an architect, a registered architect. Well, this is a major problem, guys, because number one, a registered architect is gonna charge 20% more on that overall job. If you go get a registered, see, guys, in the state of Alabama, a house can be drawn, the blueprints can be drawn by a design professional or somebody, a plan designer, somebody that can just, you can do it on AutoCAD. You don't have to be licensed. You don't have to be any of this stuff. But you can do that with a house. But now, typically in Alabama, now, if you do a set of, if you're doing commercial, you have to have a registered architect or engineer to draw those plans. It has to be stamped by those guys. Now, guys, just backup information, guys. I used to be a building official. I served as a building official for a local municipality here in this area for 4 years. And it's one of the major municipalities now. But I served, and I kind of got the department kind of where it is. Well, I guess I can take credit for getting their department where it is today. But this guy came in, this inspector came in and served as the building official. He was an inspector, but he was serving as the building official for this local municipality, and he was requiring my friend of mine, when he made his submittal, to submit a set of plans, but the plans he wanted it to be stamped by a registered architect. And guys, if you don't know anything about an architect in commercial actually act as the builder in residential. So if I'm a builder, I typically want about, builders probably, if you can get 20% profit margins, that's good. Typically you don't get that. You probably get 13 to 16%. But guys, he wanted these plans to be stamped by a licensed, a registered architect, which that's become a problem, because if I got to go get a registered architect, that architect, if he do it right, he's going to want 20% right off the top. So that means a $500,000 house, man, has already went to $600,000. You got to spend $100,000 almost on that guy, because he's going to act as a builder. He's another builder. Well, here's the problem, guys. The problem, in my opinion, I don't know if I'm right or not, but I think I'm right. The reason that this inspector wanted this guy's plans to be stamped by a registered architect is because he doesn't feel comfortable doing a thorough plan review of those plans to make sure it's code compliant. And guys, when you're in a local municipality, you have actually what they call a plans examiner. And some of these municipalities are not big enough to have a plans examiner. So if you don't have a plans examiner, the next best thing for you to do, so you don't have to be dealing with this stuff, because if you review it and you didn't see something, or you didn't check something for code, you don't want things to come back on you. Okay? And I think that's why he did that. So he said, well, hey, you need these things stamped by a registered architect. And then when the guy asked him, well, why do I need this right here stamped by a registered architect? He said, because I am the inspector now, and you got to do what I tell you to do. The guy came to me and said, man, what do you think I should do? Should I go try to find somebody who can stamp this right here? And I said, no, man. Fight this guy with everything you got. Because if you do this one thing, which is not right, guys, if you go in the code book, you can't find where it says that you have to have, now it says you do have to have a design professional, but it doesn't say you have to have a registered architect here in the state of Alabama in order to build a house and to stamp those plans. It doesn't say that. And what I told this guy to do is to go ahead and fight this with everything he got. Do what he got to do. Get lawyers or whatever you got to do. Send letters or something. Go talk to the mayor. Whatever it is that your city manager, whatever it is that you're going to do, you need to go ahead and do that. But you do not need to give him what he wants unless he shows it to you in their code. Now, either he can show it to you in the code. Now, some municipalities do what they call an amendment to the code. So, amendment to the ordinance. So what they would do is they can actually go in and say, well, hey, we want all of our houses to be stamped by a registered architect, but you have to amend that in the code, in their ordinance, and that has to be voted, and it has to be done by the council members. And if you do that, you should be able to show it. We should be able to go to Municipal or wherever you guys wherever they keep their code, and we should be able to find that document. And then once you find it, if it's there, you got to do it. This is a problem, guys, and so I told this guy, go ahead and fight it. So you guys, you have these building officials in some of these small municipalities. They walk around and they're the sheriff of those municipalities. And because they don't study the code like somebody like myself or somebody in the Home Builders Association would do, these guys can make you, they would have you running around doing everything. And the reason I told this guy to fight it is because where is this going to stop? You might as well deal with this right now. Because in order for him to tell you that you need something, he has to be able to show it to you in black and white, guys. If it's not on paper, it doesn't exist. And because he couldn't show it to him, he got good news. They went on ahead and issued his permit. Told him to come down there and pick it up. They didn't want to go through that. He actually did what I told him to do. He said, hey, look, show it to me. I said, man, go look at the code. Show it to me in the code. Guys, this becomes another problem too, guys, because what's happening in this case right here, you got a building inspector who doesn't quite understand the code. And those guys can become more dangerous than someone who actually understands the code. Because when you don't know the code and you don't know what the municipality needs you to do and you're not studying that stuff, you're asking for this information, and all you're doing is holding everybody up. You actually you're costing more time. Guys, time is interest payments. And guys, I've seen municipalities that this happened to. There's a municipality here in the Birmingham area. Guys, this building official was like a sheriff, and he didn't, I went back and forth with him several times, but the mayor, guys, you can sit here and look at it on paper, and they still wouldn't bend. So what happened to that municipality? People stopped building there. None of the builders in the Home Builders Association will build there. And you know what happened is over about a period of about 10 to 15 years, the only person that's going to build in that municipality is renters, is flippers, the house flip guys who really just flip these houses to rent them out. And so now what has happened is now they got now in this municipality right now, guys, they have a bunch of slumlords over there. That's what it is. Section 8, that whole municipality has turned into a nightmare because of the building official, in my opinion. The building official, the mayor, and all those guys, they're not focused on what the code is making them, telling them to do. So guys, if you run up on some of these local inspectors, building officials, you don't have to be mean about it. Just say, hey, show it to me in the code. Show it to me in the ordinance. Now, typically what happens, guys, is the ordinance stipulates what code cycle that you guys or what code you're going to use. And then once we determine that, then you can go to the code book, the IRC 2021, IBC 2021, whatever that code cycle is going to be, guys. You can go in that code cycle. It breaks everything down for you. And guys, sometimes you get into a situation where it's kind of gray areas in that code. So what you want to do in those situations is you want to always focus on the intent of that code. And the intent of that code is going to be, what is it that that code is trying to do? What is it? Because the code is really a big safety manual. So what is it that code is trying to protect me from? And as long as you satisfy that intent or better, then it probably is going to suffice. But guys, don't just bow down to these guys and let these guys tell you what to do and you just run and do it. Because this is the way.